Most people build businesses on trends, but the Bible reveals 4 money-making ventures that have survived empires, wars, famines, and economic crashes. These aren't modern business hacks. They are God-backed systems. Ancient wealth engines built to prosper in any generation, any economy, and any continent. And today, you're going to see exactly what they are, why they work, and how ordinary people in Scripture quietly use them to build financial stability that lasted for generations. Because when God endorses a business model, it doesn't crumble with the market. It evolves. It compounds. It survives. Let's break them down. Before we dive in, let me say something you've probably never heard. The Bible is not just a religious text. It is an economic blueprint wrapped in stories. Every parable Jesus taught, every law God gave Israel, every instruction about stewardship is tied to a wealth-building principle. You don't have to force these ideas into Scripture. They're already there, quietly revealing business patterns that never fail when practiced with wisdom. So if you've ever wondered, what kind of business does God Himself approve? You're about to see 4 of them. Let's start with a foundational truth. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. There is nothing new under the sun. Translation: markets change, technology changes, but the principles behind wealth never change. People think wealth comes from innovation. Scripture shows it comes from alignment, aligning with patterns that God already blessed from the beginning. That's the secret nobody teaches. Business 1 skill, knowledge, and wisdom trade. Exodus 31 verse 3 says, "And I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, and with all kinds of skills." God didn't just approve skill, He empowered it. Skill is a business. Excellence is a brand. Competence is currency. David played the harp with excellence and was brought before the king. 1 Samuel 16 verse 18. Paul, the apostle, built part of his ministry on tent making. Acts 18 verse 3. Solomon hired the best craftsmen to build the temple, and they were richly rewarded. Skilled people never go out of demand. Today this includes tech work, design, medicine, content creation, engineering, building, repairs, marketing, teaching, consulting. Skill endures. Skill feeds homes. Skill creates legacy. The Bible shows that skilled workers never fear scarcity. Proverbs 22 verse 29 says, "Do you see a man skilled at his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men." In other words, excellence elevates you. Skill places you before opportunities money can't buy. When God wanted to elevate Solomon, He didn't give him a product. He gave him wisdom, and that wisdom became an economic engine. Kings traveled from distant nations. People paid for access. Influence turned into wealth. 1 Kings 10 verse 24. The whole world sought audience with Solomon to hear the wisdom God had put in his heart. This tells us something powerful. Teaching, consulting, problem-solving, advising, and specialized knowledge are divine businesses. And they have never collapsed. Not in recession, not in famine, not in war. Here's why. Knowledge has no inventory cost. Wisdom compounds. People always pay for clarity. Nations rise and fall, but problems never disappear. In today's world, this includes coaching, education-based businesses, strategy services, skill monetization, thought leadership, storytelling, and content-based authority. Every era has millionaires in this category because humanity never stops needing guidance. Business 2, agriculture and food supply. The second business God consistently blesses is the one that fed nations in Scripture. Agriculture. From Adam in the garden, to Isaac sowing in famine, to Joseph running Egypt's food system. Food was never just food, it was economic power. Genesis 26 verse 12. Isaac planted crops in that land and reaped 100-fold because the Lord blessed him. This is the only business where God Himself placed a direct blessing on the soil. Today, this includes farming, food distribution, livestock, agro-processing, storage systems, nutrition products, supply chain services. People may stop buying luxury items, but they never stop eating. That's why this business never fails. Business 3, real estate and land management. This is the most undertaught biblical business, yet it's one of the most emphasized in Scripture. From Abraham to David to Boaz to Solomon, land was always the foundation of long-term wealth. Deuteronomy 8 verses 7 to 9 describes land as God's physical blessing, a place of resources, minerals, and economic opportunities. God didn't give Israel money. He gave them territory because land appreciates, land multiplies, land produces crops, land creates rental income, land becomes inheritance. Every wealthy family in Scripture preserved generational wealth through real estate. Today, this includes property rental, land flipping, commercial leasing, housing services, short-term rentals, storage units, construction. If you want a business that outlives you, this is the model. Business 4, value multiplication, the Joseph system. This one is huge. While other nations consumed everything they had, Joseph built a system that multiplied value during crisis. Genesis 41 verse 48. Joseph collected all the food and stored it in the cities. Joseph didn't farm. He didn't invent crops. He simply recognized a pattern. Resource management and value multiplication are businesses God blesses. This includes trading, asset flipping, storage and warehousing, resource allocation, investment, import-export, strategic distribution. Joseph became the richest man in Egypt, not because he produced things, but because he managed them. This is a never-fail business because crises make it more valuable. Scarcity increases profit. Management always has demand. Now here's where everything comes together. You may not own a farm. You may not have land. You may not feel like Solomon. You may not be Joseph, but you are sitting on one of these 4 business models right now. The modern world loves to complicate wealth. Scripture simplifies it. When God endorses a pattern, the world can't stop it. But here's the deeper truth most people miss. Deuteronomy 8 verse 18. It is God who gives you power to get wealth. He gives power, not salary. He gives wisdom, not luck. He gives ideas, not lottery tickets. The real question is, which of these 4 models has he already placed in your hands? Now here is the practical takeaway. You must choose one. If you want results, don't chase all 4. Choose one, the one that aligns with your skills, your environment, your season, your passion, your access, your capacity. Pick your model. 1. Knowledge business, if you can solve problems. 2. Agriculture/food, if you can manage supply. 3. Real estate, if you understand value. 4. Joseph system, if you can multiply resources. When you choose one, everything becomes clearer. Your strategies sharpen. Your opportunities open. Your direction aligns. Because God doesn't bless confusion. He blesses order. If this video opened your eyes, you already know what to do. There are more biblical wealth secrets hidden in Scripture waiting for you, and I reveal them every week. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and check out the next video on the screen, where I break down another ancient financial principle that wealthy men in Scripture used to rise from nothing. Your financial transformation starts with wisdom, and you just took the first step.